It says we live.
We live? All right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
All right, before we get started, we're going to give all the glory and honor to
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Rakah, Kadash.
All right, double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone. And peace and safety to all the sincere occupants out here pushing this word of truth and all sincerity. Shalom.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to get straight to it. I sent this brother an article going into something I saw on the ride here, and I figured, hey, we just go into that because it's prophecy, all right? You go ahead and start with the title.
All right, it says George Soros says EU may not survive coronavirus crisis.
Right, and anybody that has any knowledge of the wicked elite on the left-hand side understand George Soros is a major character, man. Mm-hmm. He's not some run-of-the-mill Edomite, man. When he speaks, things get done. So he's giving you an insight on what's to come, and he understands that this union of the European Union cannot last with everything going on, and it's going to speak on it. All right, go ahead.
It says billionaire financier George Soros said the European Union could break apart in the wake of the new coronavirus pandemic.
Right, and that's biblical. All right, read that part again.
It says billionaire financier George Soros said the European Union could break apart in the wake of the new coronavirus pandemic.
Yeah, the European Union could break apart. Man. All right, will you get brother? Will you get Luke 11 and 18 real quick?
This is the book of Luke, chapter 11 and verse 18. If Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand?
Yeah, how can his kingdom stand? And that the EU literally means the European Union, but it's the union is being broken apart, and it already started with what you have with what was the Brexit.
Yeah.
Brexit was the starting part of this European Esau's kingdom breaking apart from each other. All right, you had Trump about maybe a year ago say the EU is pointless. All right.
Like Trump be bashing the NATO EU nations, saying pretty much saying they don't put in enough money, and threat that the U.S. will leave. I mean, I know the U.S. ain't part of the EU, but like maybe like the NATO. He'll bash him and say, y'all don't pay enough money. We'll leave, that. That's causing tension.
It's causing a lot of tension because, again, it goes into what we're going to go into in Daniel, the 2nd chapter. The Lord already laid all this out for us, the iron mixed with clay. Yeah, so that's where this article is going to go into, basically the reasons why, like the brother was just going into, why there's tensions amongst that union. Read that again, bro.
It says billion.
Hold on real quick. Let him read Luke.
Luke chapter 11 and verse 18. If Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand?
Yeah, how should his kingdom stand? All right, how can you have a household stay in order if everybody got a different agenda? Mm-hmm. Think about it. You got a husband, a wife, and children.
That's confusion.
That's confusion. Everybody's supposed to follow what? The lead of the leader. Right. You know, as the saying in the world says, you can't have a bunch of chefs in the kitchen. You only gonna have one head chef, and everybody else is gonna support that head chef. But what we have now in Satan's kingdom is you got people that have hidden agendas. Yeah. They have their own mindset of how this new world order should come about, ulterior motives, like the brother said, and that creates division and tension. Matter of fact, hold what you got. I want you to hold that. Go to your pocketbook. Go to Sirach 10. Sirach 10 and 1. Because we're seeing on all levels the division amongst Esau. And it's getting worse, man. It ain't gonna get better. Look at it. Everybody loves to talk about black on black crime. And black on black crime is created off of one gang fighting against another gang, and because you killed my cousin or whatever, and I gotta get retaliation. There's gangs out here that are fighting from deaths that occurred in the early 90s.
Right. Yeah.
And it's not getting better, it's only getting worse. So what you think about with Esau when they're dealing with trillions and trillions of dollars of money, resources, slaves, import, export, who gonna rule the shit? That brings about tension. All right? Read that, bro.
Sirach chapter 10 and verse 1. Mm-hmm. A wise judge will instruct his people.
Yeah, a wise judge will instruct his people. And clearly Esau is not a wise judge because of all the dissension. All right? He's divided. That's not a wise judge. The Lord gave us pinnacle scriptures within the Bible to deal with these type of discrepancies and issues amongst the body. Hey, if you got a problem with your brother, hey, Matthew the 18th chapter. You take it to your brother, you work it out. If it doesn't work from there, you get 2 or 3 more witnesses. Hey, the scriptures say out of the mouths of 2 or 3 witnesses, my word shall be established. The Lord gave us everything to keep union. Yeah. But on Esau and them, they beefing about everything, man.
Yeah. And it's all about deception with them. You know, the diplomats of Europe and the diplomats of America, when they come in, you know, and meet each other, they'll have those round table meetings, and they'll just have, you know, their discussions. But at the end of the day, like you said, they got basically the pitchfork in the back of their hand, you know, ready to stab each other in the back, man.
They shake hands with their fingers crossed behind their back.
Yeah, with their fingers crossed.
You know? Keep going, bro.
It says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered.
A government of a prudent man is well ordered, because it's natural for disagreements and issues to present themselves. But with us, what do? We work it out. Hey, brother, listen, you offended me in such and such way, you know, and if a brother doesn't agree with it or hear it out, then what you do? 2 or 3 witnesses. If he doesn't hear it still, then you take it amongst the elders, and it leads up to the top. But look at the top of Esau's. Look at the king of Babylon. Look at Trump. He's the most controversial, wants all the smoke kind of individual.
Hell yeah.
He goes on Twitter to create more dissension amongst his kingdom. Oh, Sleepy Joe.
Yeah.
Sleepy Joe. I thought it was all about making America great again. But it can't be great unless he makes it great, and that's not a what did it say? Well, what?
And the government of a prudent man is well ordered.
Well ordered, not just in order. Esau got a level of order. You got you know, the 3 branches of the government. You know, he has checks and balances. He has all of these things, but it's not well ordered. It's still based in confusion. And this COVID-19 really exposed Esau as his confusion.
It shows you how weak he really is.
It showed how weak it is. You all right? Just in the metro Atlanta, right? You got 5 counties, right? We got Fulton, Gwinnett, Cobb, DeKalb, and Clayton. Within metro Atlanta, you cross the county line, it was a whole nother curfew, whole nother. You got to know whether in this area you may have to wear a mask. In this area, you don't got to wear a mask. That's confusion. That's not well ordered. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Openly against it. She, you know, if you got issues with somebody, you can take it and call you up. And listen, I don't agree with this, yada yada yada. We can discuss it, but no, she went on public TV and created more decision.
Yeah, because the thing is, they have their own following of individuals. Just because you might follow the mayor, don't mean you fully follow the governor.
Right.
You know, some people follow the mayor, you know, due to the fact that she might be a woman, she might be black,
A
Democrat. You know, they follow for those particular reasons. So, if the governor makes a declaration, you know, and basically drops the gavel and say that's his decision, you know, the mayor can't. They feel like in their eyes they can't just do things behind the scenes, so they openly speak out against it, which creates more contention, man. You know, because you have, like you said, it's a power trip really with these nations. When what they say, basically, the more power you have, the more evil you become.
Yep.
So when you're a multi-millionaire or you're a multi-billionaire, nobody can tell you shit since the age of 3 or 4 years old. You know, and you grew up to be this super mogul in society, you ain't listening to nobody, even at the top, man. Mm-hmm. So if somebody has a certain feeling or feel a way about you, you still stiff-necked, man.
Yep.
And these different nations are showing, and these, whether politicians, Senate, Democrats, Republicans, you know, kings or presidents, you know, they're all showing their true horns, man.
Yep.
Beast system.
And it's Satan.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Say any more to that?
Verse 2, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein.
Now read that again.
Verse 2.
Yeah, read that verse again.
Sirach chapter 10 and verse 2, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner...
And George Soros is an officer of the elite. All right. Again, there's figures that are major players in this thing, man. Just as much as you, you know, you might be a what you got? What's that in the mafia? You had like capos.
Yeah, capo regime. You got the boss, Don. I forget the Godfather.
Yeah, it's
That's
levels.
top.
And capo,
Made men.
Made men. Yep. So George Soros would be sort of like a capo. You know, he's not no, you know, he's not a nobody, man. George Soros, Henry Kissinger.
Yeah.
You know, these are prominent figures in Esau's rulership. Okay. So for him to say that, he sees it from a bird's eye view, man.
And they started off giving him his basically his title, a billionaire.
Hedge fund manager.
Yeah, finance.
Yep.
And they study analytics. They study the graphs. They have their own units of individuals that's experts that be under them.
Yep.
So they don't be just winging it, man. They don't just think and just, you know, throw out shit just because, just to, you know, excite or scare. You know, they study and they see, all right, this ain't gonna be this ain't gonna be looking good after this, you know.
Because you know what?
Goes over.
Because you know what? With us, we understand and for a lack of a better term, we respect his positioning in the grand scheme of things. So that's why we saw an article like this. Oh, we gotta check in, tap in, and listen to what the hell he got to say. All right, but how many people in the world will see an article like this and who the fuck is George Soros? And it's ignored. All right, keep going.
It says, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein.
Such are all they that dwell therein, man. You ain't got no choice, man. Either you leading or you following. Ain't no in between. All right? And this is what this is saying. Everybody follows the way of them. So what we're seeing on our level is a split within the elite themselves. Because they're the ultimate Satanists, the ultimate devils. And they split, man. How the hell you put 12 of them in a room, right? Or matter of fact, get that in Matthew. You know what I said? Matthew 11. 3 against 2. It's Matthew 12.
Foes in your own household.
Foes in your own household.
I think that's 10.
10 and 35.
10 to 30. 10 to 30. Yeah, because the devil's in rulership. How could there be peace on earth with the devil in rulership? So the Lord has given us don't even put that in your mind frame that it's going to be peace and everybody going to be together. No, the spirit of division is on the earth as a whole, man. Mm-hmm. That's why we through the spirit, we got to check that shit. But we have the blueprint of checking divisions. All right, as scripture say in Romans, what is that? Romans 16. That all of you should speak the same thing and mark them that cause division. All right, cast out the scorner and contentions will cease. Basically, we follow the blueprint. They don't. They're Satanists. Mm-hmm. Everything they do is in deception. So they'll shake your hand like we were saying earlier. They shake their hand, but behind their back they got their fingers crossed, man. Put pinky promise, not a chance, man. Keep going.
It says verse 35. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
And that's not just Pookie and Keisha, man. All right, that's speaking on the Evelyn Rothschild, David Rothschild, the Rockefellers. Because you know what? There was a time. Matter of fact, go to Ecclesiastes 3. We're gonna go back to that article because I really want to touch that article.
Well,
Ecclesiastes,
we seen that with the royal family in the news about was that Prince Harry
Yep.
and his wife
Meghan.
Yeah, Meghan, them stepping away from the family, but they basically wanted all the royalties and all the benefits that came with the family, but they didn't want to continue the legacy. Mm-hmm. You know.
Even so, I kind of like took the scenario right out my mind because I was about to say, look at Donald and Melinda Trump. Mm-hmm. They don't. You can tell they don't get along. He'll try to hold her hand. She'll bat it away.
She
ain't really in the scene.
She ain't never in the scene.
She's definitely not one of the most. If not, she's probably one of the most inactive first ladies.
She is.
Yeah.
Where the hell is she?
Trump's daughter does more than she does.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's no Michelle Obama.
Hell no.
Oh, hell.
She's not a Barbara Bush.
Nope.
She's not a Hillary Clinton.
Nope.
You know, although they're all devils, but the point of it all is that the elite are divided, man.
Right.
All right? They are divided on all levels. I said a man against his father. So you understand within these Rothschilds, they all have different agendas, and they're jealous. They have envy. They have strife. They're all the characteristics of the devil. The devil came nothing but to rob, steal, and kill. Okay? What you got? Yeah, Ecclesiastes 3. That's what you said. Ecclesiastes 3:1.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Yeah, so there was a time where Esau had a little bit of unity amongst them. That's where you get in Psalms the 83rd chapter. That confederacy amongst the nations. But that was all for a purpose. The Lord had them put all the differences aside, probably handshakes and everything to create what we have today. But what we have today is all set to be destroyed. So that union got to be destroyed amongst them.
Mm-hmm.
So you know it's all out war amongst them elite. They ain't sleeping well. They probably got security that's protecting them against one sector of the elites and against these group of people. And we know it's no union there.
Rothschild got protection from the parts.
Yep.
Yeah.
DuPont's got protection from the Vanderbilts. You know, so you right on.
Even amongst the Rothschilds, there's probably issues with, because I remember a few years ago, I think one of the sons stepped up to be the heir of the throne, basically, over the banking side. And you know, things like that create issues.
Yeah. And a lot of them be wanting to haste to get their position in, so they'll try to kill their own fathers or mothers, huh? You know, if their fathers or mothers are like heads of the board or whatever position that they hold, you know, they stand as the leading person within their organization. That's why you have political hitmen. You'll hear about certain elite individuals dying, you know, but they don't truly just die natural causes or anything like that. And what the media brings out, the media is just bullshit, man.
Yep.
It's really always a backstory behind it that they cover up stories, man.
And a good show to show you that if you got time is Successor on HBO. And it deals with this elite Edomite who's a businessman. He's dying. He's like up in age, and he's dying, he's losing his mind, and he's trying to well order his household. So he got 3 sons. And the 3 sons, they all hate their father. Like they literally hate him. And the father hates them. So it's a battle of billionaires of who's gonna take over the throne. See, like I said, that division, man, black families been divided.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Black families been divided. We don't care about the such and such's family, the Davises and the Williams beefing with each other. Man. No, these elite families, when they are shaken up, it affects the world, and that's what we're seeing. Because these countries are no more than corporations that are owned by the elite. All right. Now let's go ahead and go back to that article. Unless you want to see something you want to.
I just wanted to get that one. Yeah. So in the last verse, verse 36, and a man's foe shall, Matthew 10 and 36, and a man's foe shall be they of his own household.
A man's foe shall be him of his own household. All right. Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, any of them that have enough power to move and shake the earth. Okay, they're divided. That's why when you go to Ecclesiastes is the 10th chapter, it tells you as the people are, so are his rulers. There's a massive amount of hate and division and malice and envy and all that on the earth because they are.
Yeah.
Just as much as when we, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we be part of that number, the elite or the elect or the elite of Jacob, hey, when that union comes together, hey, you're going to see the unity of the people on the planet Earth. The unity and peace of the planet Earth is going to come directly because of the elect of Israel, man. All right, now let's go back to that argument.
It says,
Precept. Yeah, precept. Let me go.
Amos chapter 3 and verse 3.
That's it.
It says, can 2 walk together except they be agreed?
Yeah, and the answer is no. Right? You ain't never seen no couple. Here it is, the man is misogynistic. Right? He's a misogynistic person. The talks shit about women all day, and his wife is a feminist that talks shit about men. How they gonna work? How that gonna work?
That's a brawl waiting to happen, man.
Exactly. That's a divorce waiting to happen, man. Because they don't agree. Only way you can walk together is if you're in agreement. And the elite, you had your time to be in agreement with one another to set this thing off, but right now through the spirit, we know y'all are divided, man. That's why you're not making your moves. You got one elite that's probably, nah, let's go ahead. We need to come down hard on them. We need to do this. We need to do that. And another way, let's finesse it. Let's do it. You know when you play Grand Theft Auto 5, GTA 5, you set up the scenes.
Yeah.
They be like, well, which way you want to go? You want to go in
This way.
loud and heavy, or you want to go through the roof? I'm trying to get $6.
Hell yeah.
Exactly.
Guns are blazing.
Guns are blazing or quiet.
Yeah.
You got some elite. You got some elite that got that.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck no more. I want to lawn mow these niggas. And then some. Hey,
Still more steps.
wait, boss man, wait. Wait. All right.
Police like, wait for what, man?
Yeah, wait for what?
We got in the bag.
We got the upper hand.
And then when they lose the time, they like, shit, he fucked it up.
Yep.
And that's where vengeance. That beat.
Murmuring,
yeah.
murmuring comes, and the scriptures tell you that murmuring is unprofitable. And we know from first-hand experience in this camp that murmuring spirit destroys unity.
Hell yeah.
It destroys it because once you start, you see bars all. Right. We don't do that, bro. Hey, listen. I feel a way about this. We went off, and if a brother humble on down, he gonna hear. You think he'll leave humble down? Oh, right. I'm fucking up. Nah, they get turned up, and they realize what you say. Like, I got an army myself. What do you think you talking to?
Humble for what?
Humble for what? Ain't no humility amongst the elite. Why should there be? All right, go ahead, bro.
It says billionaire financier George Soros said European Union could break apart in the wake of the new coronavirus pandemic unless the bloc issued perpetual bonds to help weak members such as Italy.
And perpetual bonds, when you look into it vaguely, I didn't dive into it, but it's basically a fake bond.
Yeah.
All right, it's not real. Instead of there being losses involved, instead of you're dealing with just equity and so on and so forth, it's not real. It's dismissing the debt side of it all. And that's what they're trying to do. And that's why, to bring about the unity that they need amongst themselves, they're going to do away with all world currencies.
Yeah.
The only way to do away with the dispute amongst these nations and amongst the elites of these nations is to do away with all debt, all currencies. Get rid of the American dollar, the euro, the British pound, the yen, the Australian dollar, the Canadian. Get rid of all that shit and introduce a new currency, which is going to be that RFID chip.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. You
Say, Captain, because this is a great article just on the first paragraph. Because Esau plays with words. This article came out May 22nd, which was yesterday. Man, this brother just peeped this because we were reading it. It says the European Union could break in the wake of the new coronavirus. What new coronavirus? This has been here. This is old news we're talking. So what new coronavirus can anybody talk about? You see, so like you were saying, in the inception of starting this camp, he's pretty much telling you what's about to happen before it comes. So this is clear evidence that another way is about to hit.
Yeah.
And say for instance, which I was listening to this video and they were speaking about the fall and how a famine gonna come, and they was basically saying, say for instance, the coronavirus just vanished out of nowhere. They was like, man, stuff would still be effed up, man.
Right.
Everything would still fall. We was, through the spirit of Yahweh Shabbat Shah, we was talking about the fall of the EU and NATO before the coronavirus.
Right.
It was gonna fall. They already was weak before this coronavirus pandemic happened.
Right.
You had pigs, which was Portugal, which they just referred to as, they said Italy, right?
Yeah, they just named Italy as one.
Yeah.
But it's other weak nations within this folk.
Portugal, Ireland, Italy, Greece, and Spain. That's the pigs. That's the economic weak side. And Daniel, the second chapter, which I have.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
Okay, you got it.
So let me go back to the article. It says the novel coronavirus, which emerged in China last year, has stalled swatches of the global economy, while governments have ramped up borrowing to levels not seen in peacetime history.
Yeah, because we're technically not at war right now. But every week you see they're having to sign this deal for another trillion, $3, $4, $5 trillion to keep the people afloat. All right, they already passed the first what was it? Was it the Peace Act, the Hero Act, the CARE Act? The CARE Act, which was the first group of stimulus checks that they sent to the people. Everybody roughly got about a $1,200 check, and $500 towards every kid that they had within their household under the age of 18 or whatever the case may be. And they about to roll out another one. For $3 trillion. And what you think will happen after that? They're going to have to roll out another one. Because why? At the same time, while they're trying to reopen this economy, every week that go by, this brother always make mention to it. 1 million to 3 million more people are added to the unemployment list.
If you look at the U.S. debt clock, damn near it's a little bit over 300 million people in the United States. Damn near 150 million people are unemployed, man.
God damn.
That shit damn near cut in half. Damn near half of the people are unemployed. I'm gonna pull it up.
That's crazy. Yeah, please bring that up.
That's big.
And then the debt clock, like the brother said, hey, well the debt is soaring towards $30 trillion.
I got it right here.
Go ahead, bro.
So the United States national debt is 25 trillion 400 billion. Under the U.S. work side, you have the United States population is 329 million. The U.S. workforce actively working is 100 million. Not in
million.
Not in the labor force is 117 million.
So if this thing continues to go on, there's gonna be more people unemployed than employed, man.
See?
And they have official unemployed, which is 41 million, and actual unemployed 43 million. So they done, man.
Yeah, that's correct.
Those are huge
Yeah, I
numbers.
mean, no. And we've been talking about that for years. You know, everybody was in an uproar in 2008 when the recession started, all right? And what? Their unemployment rate was around like 9–10%, and people was at an uproar. When the last time you heard a percentage of what they say? They'll tell you numbers like that, but they'll never say 30% of the nation is unemployed.
Nah.
Because they know the psyche of how you American people work, man. They understand, like, you know, if I give it to them like this, it makes them feel comfortable. But if I give it to them like this, the same number, it makes them uncomfortable. They understand that, man. They understand the psychology and sociology of you Americans because you're all lab rats. You're all lab rats. They have you understand down to a T. Right?
It says, continuing, it says Soros, 8-9.
That's never old, man.
It said the damage of the Eurozone economy from the new coronavirus will last longer, he said, it says, quote, longer than most people think, unquote. Adding that the rapid evolution of the virus meant that a reliable vaccine would be hard to develop.
Oh, but I thought we were waiting on a virus to come in the fall. I thought that's what they said. There was a virus. We're gonna have a vaccine soon. We're working on it, Trump, right? You people gonna learn very soon who you really should be listening to. Y'all be worried about the wrong devils, man.
Wrong devils.
You know, one of them tried to expose. Remember in that video, Bishop Tazwan posted in the group chat about what, a month or two ago? This devil, he went to the files. He's like, yo, there's a big, you know, virus about to hit. There's gonna be another go around, basically.
Yeah, another wave.
Yeah, another wave. So basically, that's what's happening. Like, this coronavirus is fucking people up. Well, here comes another wave because this brother mentioned what, a new coronavirus. You know, things about to happen. That's right.
Yeah, that coronavirus amplifying, man. Mutate.
It says,
Yeah.
Sideways 8 by.
Yeah.
It says, adding that, it says the hedge fund veteran and chairman of Soros Fund Management LLC said perpetual bonds used by the British to finance wars against Napoleon would allow the European Union and it may not be able to survive the challenges it currently confronts, unquote. Soros said in the transcript of a question and answer session emailed to reporters. He said again, this is not a theoretical possibility. It may be the tragic reality.
If I can say something to it, and this is getting really juicy, man, because if you see, they're trying to reinvent or really basically grab the things of the past of World War II and bring it in today's time, showing you they're still in that warlike spirit, man. You know, what did they have the Defense Production Act with Trump when he started to open Ford and the GM and these manufacturing companies to actually produce
Like 50 billion he signed for that.
yeah to produce medical equipment. And you see what is the main way that Esau actually produces money? Through war. But they can't go to war right now. They can't go to war with the condition of America. They don't have the money and the finances. The military is basically stretched too thin as we speak. You see all these different troops here in America. That costs a lot of money itself, man.
Yep.
To have these
You gotta feed their ass.
yeah, you gotta feed them. You gotta take care of them, house them. You know. So you got active troops on the ground, as well as what if protests or riots might crack off and break off in these streets, man.
Weather.
The weather
You
conditions.
see what happened in Michigan with that dam? That dam collapsing. What you think? Was the mayor or the governor of Michigan said we're going to need federal help. So where does you think that money come from? That's adding on more to your debt clock, man. And imagine if out of nowhere Florida gets rocked with a hurricane, Georgia gets rocked with a hurricane, one go up the East Coast and rock North Carolina all over to New York with a hurricane.
They gonna just leave it there, man.
That's the point. Sooner or later it's gonna get to a point they just gonna be leaving shit, man. We ain't got it. Trump gonna hit you states with it. We ain't got it.
I owe you.
Yeah, oh, you know.
Move. All right. Yeah, a couple of days. Was Trump destroying Arthur or something like that?
I got a clipboard just to show how Esau's about to relapse back into an economic collapse. This is at First Maccabees chapter 3 and 25. I'm going to read swiftly. It says, Then began the fear of Judas and his brethren, and exceeding great dread to fall upon the nations round about them. And so much as his fame came unto the king, and all nations talked about the battles of Judas. Verse 27. Now when King Antiochus
Which was a top-level devil of his time.
Yep.
heard these things, he was full of indignation. Wherefore he sent and gathered together all the forces of his realm, even a very strong army. Verse 28, and here's the point on down. He opened also his treasury.
Yeah, that's what they're doing now. That's why they gotta pass this bill to open up this money over here and over there. They gotta vote, like you said, the PPP and different FEMA bills and stuff like that. They gotta use those decrees to open up money. And it costs money. It costs money for us on a low level just to survive. Just to survive, it costs money. You want to wipe your ass, you need money. You want to eat today, you're going to need money. Getting down here to camp costs money. Parking costs money. Gas, all of this is money. Even if you out here and you spending money, you missing money that you could be made. Money, the scriptures say money is a defense and wisdom is a defense. All right? So Esau is the same thing. It takes a lot of money to keep this party going. A lot of money. Look how much money it costs for them to give everybody that little measly $1,200.
That they spent in a week.
That shit was going in a couple hours for most people. But that was $1 trillion hit that the federal government took.
They gotta keep taking.
And they gotta keep taking it. We don't know what's gonna happen. Who knows what's gonna happen? That's why Trump's saying that. We ain't gonna shut the country down again. Because this was literally between the months of March and right here, the federal government lost hundreds of trillions of dollars, honestly. They're not going to tell you the whole number. They might tell you, like, yeah, we gave you one. But what about the millions of dollars that went to the millionaires?
Yeah.
What about businessmen? What about these corporations that got bailed out? They ain't going to put everything on the news because you people are getting mad.
Yeah.
Trillions of dollars are gone. And just like that.
They can't afford to shut down.
Nah.
Nah, and they were saying that I was listening to 88.5, and they were saying
that consumer spending is at an all-time low. You know, these different holiday celebrations are just passing. You know, they be making trillions of dollars on all these different holidays.
Yeah.
Halloween. What the?
Billions.
I meant billions of dollars.
Billions of dollars spent on candy.
On candy, billions of dollars on Christmas, Black Friday, billions of dollars. All these different major celebratory events.
What weekend are we getting?
Oh, Memorial.
It's Memorial
Yeah.
Day weekend.
Yeah.
This is a massive weekend where niggas go places. Every nigga's supposed to be in Florida.
Yep.
Everybody's supposed to be in Miami right now. Daytona Beach. Everybody's supposed to be at Black Bike Week in South Carolina.
Yeah. Then you got White
Virginia
Bike Week.
Beach. Somewhere, everybody's supposed to be somewhere
Spending money.
and cooking out. Where's everybody else? Atlanta's a travel destination.
It's ghost town out here.
It's a ghost town.
They move. They ain't got no money to move.
You got any more?
Yeah.
We're gonna go to Daniel
This
2.
is, verse 28. He opened also his treasures and gave his soldiers pay for a year.
You hear that? Pay for a year. You think these soldiers just mobilize for the free? You think they do anything? Nobody does nothing for free. It costs money to move them. Everybody saw the videos of the tanks. You had to pay a train company. You had to pay a conductor. It costs money to do everything.
That fuel,
The fuel.
that's a lot of money.
Come on, man. The security. What you think that you just gonna move? Yeah, you know we got these.
The repair costs,
Huh?
when shit break down, the repair costs of it.
Repair, security. You don't so put a whole bunch of tanks somewhere. Yeah, we just gonna park these over here off of Memorial in this deserted parking lot. You think it's a deserted parking lot somewhere or a field just housing just tanks and supplies and shit? You're right. You got all of these different parts that cost money, not a couple $100s.
Through.
Not a couple thousands of dollars. Not a couple millions. These are billion-dollar transactions. Esau can't keep doing this. Go ahead, bro.
It says, verse 29, but yeah, exactly what's happening right now. It says, commanding them to be ready whensoever we shall need. It says, verse 29, nevertheless, when he saw that the money of his treasures fell, and that the tributes in the country were small.
Tributes. What's tributes? Taxes. Where does Esau get his taxes from? By spending and making money. That's how he gets his money. By us working and getting he taxes our money before we see it, right? But if I'm unemployed, I'm not earning taxes.
Right.
And then if I'm not earning money and you giving me and I don't have any money, my money flow is shortening up. Then I'm not going out like the deacon was going into about spending power or belief or trusting power. Because when people trust in the economy, they spend more money.
Hell yeah.
Like an Edomite. If an Edomite got extra money and he trusts in what's going on in the world, he's like, hey, you know what, hon, I'm gonna go ahead and get the family a boat.
Right.
Or I'm gonna get this car.
Nobody
or I'm gonna get another property.
Or buy stock.
Or buy stocks or whatever, because you have trusted. If you trust that my money gonna be here Friday, you're more than likely gonna spend money knowing money's coming. But when people feel like their pockets is tight, we can't afford that. We can't afford to travel this year.
Yeah.
We can't afford to buy that new car. We can't afford to get that motorcycle or that jewelry. People are holding on to money.
If I may say,
Got it, bro.
because you know that recession started in 2007. Trump, the change of office started in 2008 with Obama. But Bush said 2007, early 2008, he told the American people to go buy. Go shop. He told everybody, shop. Why did he say that? Because what? First off, they give hella bills. Second off, if they shop, like y'all saying, consume, it's gonna boost the economy.
Don't pump it up.
And people believed in it. And I'm gonna be honest, it did boost the economy.
Yeah, it does. It does
It
boost the
did
economy.
boost the economy because we got all the way to this point where earlier January the economy was at 30K, starting from 2008 all the way to 2010. So them always consuming actually boosted it. But now there ain't none of that.
What good is you selling products if you don't got buyers? That's simple business.
It says, this is gonna be exact. It says, in that the tribunes in the country were small because of the dissension and plague. Right there.
Dissension.
What? And plague.
And plague.
And we're going through both of those.
Both of those.
Dissension and plague. This state against this state, this realm against this realm. And whenever you see the fall of a society, you can study any country, for the most part, most kingdoms in history, they fell because of dissension and plague, man. You had the southern, before Israel fell, you had what? The southern and northern kingdoms being divided. And they just got picked off. The northern kingdom got went in captivity under the Babylonians. Excuse me, the northern kingdom went in captivity under the Syrians, and the southern kingdom went in captivity under the Babylonians. And you also see that in Rome. Was that the Holy Roman Empire and the basically Eastern Rome and Western Rome. They had all kinds of divisions, economic divisions. They had moral divisions. They had religious divisions.
And Epicurean, Stoics. That was a major division of the lifestyles.
Yep. And
Same thing today.
Same thing today. They just got picked from the inside out.
You got
It says what she had brought upon the land and taken away the laws.
Greece, the four generals.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But Alexander the Great, that was the pinnacle. That's when Hellenization and everything was booming. Everything, they had the full takeover. And then after Alexander died, which is in the first chapter of Maccabees, first couple verses, it said what? The four of them put crowns in their head. They stretched it thin. They stretched the Grecian realm too.
And then even within that, they were fighting. You had the north, what was it, the Syrian wars?
Yeah, the Syrian war.
6 civil wars.
Yeah.
Seleucid dynasty.
That's division. That's it. That was it on that?
Yeah, and it says, which he had brought upon the land and taken away the laws which had been of old time. So that's what this is what Esau gets for not letting us keep our custom.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And you're gonna see it's gonna be more and more. Like the Lord, that precept the brother just brought out, you're gonna see that really play itself out again, man. Because Esau's doing the same thing, changing the natural laws of things. You know, before you know it, man, like we said that a year ago, it's gonna get weird. And I didn't change, it's gonna get weirder. I see the post, I didn't share it with brothers. I think about to do a lesson on it. There was an Edomite, man, laid up. Bro, there's an Edomite. Nah, I'll show y'all in a second. But it was an Edomite that literally was laid up in the bed, and he was like, he had a full-fledged sex doll in the bed, right? And then he was like, oh, we just had a baby. And literally, he was taking like how you lay in the bed with like your rib and your family picture. He was laid up with a sex doll and another little plastic doll.
Oh
like
my God!
His whole fucking family.
Whole night.
And you know what's going to happen? We laugh at that, but very soon
That's
you're
gonna
going
be
to have
reality.
to acknowledge that as a family.
That's gonna be normal.
That's going to be the norm. You laugh at it, but you're going to have to acknowledge it.
When something is abnormal that's around for so long, it starts to become normal. Like transgenders, that's normal to people now.
Yeah, that's.
You got a transgender into job, you know, I ain't saying us, we still look at this motherfucker weird.
Yeah.
But most people, they, talk to trans.
Like, what's your problem for having a problem with it?
Yeah.
Just like a lie. A lie is that's the number one thing.
Number one.
A lie. Even if you lie to yourself, so many times you start believing.
I believe it.
You just start like Esau.
Repetition, man.
Look what he did with the scripts. So long was a lie. People were starting to believe.
Man, you get killed for telling somebody that Jesus ain't white. But you got a precept, bro? And we're going to go to that game.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his?
Yeah, who else did that, man? Chinese ain't increased nothing that wasn't theirs. All right, with the Africans, who really, to the fullness, reached the pinnacle of riches and everything through taking.
Job 9:24.
Job 9:24, exactly. These so-called white people, the Edomites, the vagabonds, Cain, okay? All right, all of these devils, they are known for taking, man. That which is not theirs. Cain took his brother's life. It wasn't his life to take. Esau is just a goddamn thief. All right, but he's in thick play with it. Because when you move different with money that you earn, think about it. You earn that money, you're gonna hold on to it longer because in your mind, they might have to dig this big fucking hole at work to make this money. I ain't gonna blow it. But when Jake hit licks, as soon as the money comes, it's gone. Well, even if it means, I remember some Jakes a few years back with that I robbed a jewelry store just to get the money so they could go to the strip club and throw the money. Because that's what you do when you got something that's not yours. You don't appreciate it. So Esau, yeah, it's fast. All of this money's fast for Esau. Shit, fuck it, we'll print another trillion. Oh fuck, we'll just go invade another country. So that's how that thick play. And on top of that thick play, that's why his infrastructure is collapsing. You think that dam just collapsed because of just too much water?
Hell no.
Well, that dam probably in Michigan probably ain't been serviced since the 50s, man.
Yeah, Michigan be going through it too.
Michigan Michigan might be a fourth world country.
Might be.
Yes. Yeah.
Flint still ain't.
Flint still ain't got good water, man.
Detroit finish.
Detroit.
That whole area is just through. All right.
Need a missile.
Yeah, it needs a mercy kill.
Yeah,
Man.
need a mercy. Nah, nope.
Oh, the Midwest is finished, man. So imagine your spaghetti junction. Imagine your Lake Lanier dams and dams around other parts of the world, around the country.
Hoover Dam. Yeah.
Imagine when Hoover Dam decides to give out.
God damn.
Hoover Dam gives out, man. That's. Come on now. This little dam got houses floating down the street and shit, man. Well, imagine when Hoover Dam decides it's gonna give out, man. It's over with that whole region.
Man, that place is finished.
That's it on that.
No, this is what keep going, bro. It says, woe to him, it says, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay.
And that thick clay is what is it? Bakia? I'm saying that correctly, which means debt, man. All right, that thick clay is debt, man. And that's how we know that that's Esau. Esau is the one that's in thick clay. That's why the whole article that we wrote, that we started out with the EU split, was about that thick clay, that debt.
And clay itself is thick. When you think about clay, you know, it's thick in itself. So thick clay, just like what is it called with damn, I'm trying to think of the word. Like quicksand. Like if you fall in quicksand, the more you move, the quicker your ass sink, man.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't no way. It's like one or two ways of getting out of quicksand. It ain't many ways of getting out of that shit. And most people that fall in quicksand, it's over for them, man.
Yeah, it's over.
So it's the same thing with Esau, man. This debt, that 25, which is more than 25 trillion on top of that.
Yeah.
That's just what you got, national debt.
That's national, yeah.
Mhm.
National debt, yeah.
And then they factor it all in debt per citizen, which I think is like at 63,000 now. I think it was at like 50. But they putting all this on the back of the U.S. citizens, and they ain't gonna be able to pay it off. You know, that's why really you don't get paid shit on these jobs, because really, and they want you to accumulate debt through the educational program. And since all this shit's been shut down, all these universities, all these colleges, and all these schools, and all these things been shut down, which Lord willing, this shit don't open back up. But they backed up for fucking decades, man. If not centuries, they ain't gonna be able to get back right, man. That's why the main thing is just implement. They gotta start over really at this point. Which the chip is the main pinnacle of the restart, man.
So that, all right, go ahead, Daniel.
Daniel 2, and I'll start at 39. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass.
Inferior. This is an inferior kingdom.
Oh, this one talking about Greece, Slovakia.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Scoop.
Okay. Which shall bear rule over all the earth, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things.
Yeah, iron's tough, man. Underneath this concrete we standing on right now is rebar. So iron. That's what strengthens the concrete, so that you can drive over it, you can put a lot of weight on it. All right? Your bridges have massive amounts of rebar to keep it strong.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's Esau through his military strength, because this is a military based kingdom. This isn't a sexy kingdom, right? You know, for lack of a better term, like the Babylonian kingdom, with the 8 wonders of the world, the hanging gardens and all of that. That was a beautiful kingdom.
Yeah.
Because gold, you start with gold. Gold is a what's the word I'm looking for?
Precious metal.
A precious metal. The what? A precious metal, and silver is maybe a little less of a precious metal. But when you get to brass, iron, like if you gave your woman a, hey baby, here's an iron necklace, she gonna cheat on you. She gonna leave you.
And you only use those type of materials really in warfare.
Yep.
Brass and iron is some of the best materials.
Swords,
Yeah, for swords,
guns,
shields.
you know, arrowheads, and so on and so forth. But this is not a beautiful kingdom, man. That's why if you go 2 streets over from where we are right now, this $100,000 units of living. But a street over, hey, it's probably the crackhead taking a shit in the street.
Yeah. Washington D.C. You know, you'll see the White House building. You know, you see it looks all plush, even though it's a piece of crap any damn way.
Right.
But around the corner, we got them hoods and ghettos all around here, man.
Chunky's right next door.
Yeah, smoking crack in front of the White House.
This is not a beauty. This is not the beauty, man. All right. No, this is not a beautified nation. It's all smoke and mirrors. That's why we don't. This is not our rest. There's no rest here. All right, keep going, bro.
All right, it says, and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise.
And bruise. This is when Esau really got his blessing in fullness, man. This is when he was able to get the fatness of the earth and subdue the world, man, through his sword. That didn't happen during the time of Greece. It didn't happen during the time of really Rome. It happened during, matter of fact, go to Revelation 13:3. It happened during the healing of that womb of Rome. And this is when he was able to push that ironclad grip of his on the whole earth, right?
Revelation chapter 13 and verse 3. I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed.
Because the 7 heads, was it Rome, Greece, how many out here?
You had
Germanic
Major,
Germania
Germania Minor.
British,
Got a Brits.
the French, right?
Yeah, which they would call different names back then.
Right.
It's like the Gauls.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
call
like
it
the
Gauls.
they called them the Ostrogoths, the Visigoths. Which your brother could pull up the sign on
Yeah, if somebody want to pull it up for
for
edification.
the 7 heads and the 10 horns.
French were the Gauls.
The Gauls,
French, the Canadian line,
Germania Major, Greece, Rome, Spain.
Oh, that was it. So that's the 7 heads, but that one head that's spoken of in Revelation 13 is speaking on the Romans. Keep going.
It says, as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed.
Yeah, because Rome fell. All right, what was it? Rome fell around about what, 325? 325 AD is when Rome fell, and that period of 325 to about 1300 was when that 1,000-year period where
The
Esau was-
Byzantine.
the Byzantine Empire, when Esau was put away.
Yep.
All right, this is all biblical history.
Yeah.
All right, keep going.
It says, and all the world wondered after the beast.
All the world wondered after the beast, man. Because look at this. This beast came back ready for that action, man. Ready for that ready. Hey, what Jake down in New Orleans said, ready to use that iron, man. Literally, Esau came back ready to use that iron. All right, now we go back to Daniel. That was in that, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, it says, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron.
Yeah, part iron and part clay. And that's what George Soros was speaking of. He didn't come out of his mouth to say, and the parts that's clay, you know, we got to bail the clay out. No. All right, but we know through the scriptures, because even this dream, this vision that Nebuchadnezzar had, who had to break it down? Daniel.
Daniel had to break it down.
All right, so we're breaking it down to get the understanding that the part that's iron is the strong part, because iron is strong.
Yeah.
All right, who's some strong countries? Germany. All right,
that's why they call it the German. That's why Germany is mentioned in the script as team.
Team, the wise men of team.
You know, because when you look at the technology of Germany right now, it's far advanced in a lot of countries. That's why they're mentioned in the script. So Germany is one of the strong ones.
Yeah. The very fact that we have international interstates and highways goes back to Germany.
Yeah.
Because these interstates came about from what's the word I'm looking for? During the time of the war. All right, during the time of war with the Autobahn. All right, the Autobahn was created during the time of war for the premise of landing warplanes. But what happened? During the time of war, they just used it. So now rich douchebags, you know, race their expensive cars up and down the Autobahn.
Yeah, a lot of even after World War II, with Adolf Hitler, after Adolf Hitler allegedly got killed, all those scientists, those men, they had technological basically skill. They didn't kill them all. They brought them here to America.
Yeah, some came here to America. Yep. Some came to America and a lot. And they also speak a lot went to Russia too.
A lot went to Russia, some went to South America.
Yep.
Which it's even articles that speak about how somebody actually spotted Adolf Hitler in South America. But that's a topic for another time.
Yeah.
South America's a real off the map kind of
Off the grid type of.
It's like all these countries have these nuclear capabilities and things of like things of that nature. But really, when you go into that Isaiah 54 with the, well, pretty much Isaiah, y'all know what I'm talking about, Isaiah 54. Smith.
The blow up the coals.
The blow up the coals. Those are really the Germans. That's what was going back to the Manhattan Project. Most of those were German scientists, but the U.S. just slapped their title on it. And Einstein wasn't no American.
Nah, man. A lot of those Edomites.
Yeah, I think it was German. Yeah, you saying something, bro?
No, I just say a lot of those Edomites you think are actually American. Either in America is just a new country that everybody just lives in, new Edomites. But a lot of them, where were their original habitations prior to America? A lot of them was actually Germans, Austrian.
Hitler was Austrian.
Yeah, Hitler was actually from Austria. But continue on. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay.
And miry clay, we just went in, the brother went in to Habakkuk to get that understanding of the clay. So what is it? A lot of those weaker countries, like the brother was going into earlier, pigs, are those countries that are laden in thick clay. Huh? It's not, because at the end of the day, like the brother was going into last week at camp, about the rich and the poor in Revelation 13. It ain't, is there a specific number of money that you gotta have to specifically be considered rich or poor? No, it's a resource thing, real riches. So what makes part of the nations of the toes weak versus strong? Is it because they have a high protein diet? Right? No, it's financial gains and money. That's what makes you strong and weak, because that's what this world is based on.
Resources and development.
Right.
GDP.
GDP.
Yep.
Even in this world on our level, how do we get judged? The scriptures say the rich sit in low places. We get talked down upon and looked down upon because our physical money doesn't flow like how everybody looks.
Yeah. Our I would say spending ratio. You spend more than you. Yeah. Your production consumption ratio. We consume way more than we produce. We have a strong buying power. If you really look at all nations, we have the buying power equal to most nations. Even though we looked at like minorities.
Yeah.
But what makes us extremely weak is because we lack resources. We lack economic unity. We don't know how to basically develop and build military strength. And we, even if we do create, like you had a lot of innovators in the early days of America, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But what? They never had full control over their products. So even the generations after, they grew up poor, man. So it's all about resources, control, man, power.
Generational poverty versus generational wealth.
Generational poverty versus generational wealth. And I have this going further into the 10 toes. This is under worldometers. This is the coronavirus cases that stands today. And the main nations that's basically being hit by this coronavirus is the EU. Other nations too, but the main one is America, number one. The other in EU and NATO. But I'm gonna read them. America total cases is 1,600,000. Brazil, 300. Brazil number 2 now.
Yeah.
340,000. Russia's number 3, 300,000. Spain, 280,000. UK, 250,000. Italy, that's it.
That's it right there.
229,000.
UK just broke off. The United Kingdom just literally broke off from the EU. That was the whole president putting that off because that was that was prophecy, man.
France, 180,000 at number 7. Germany, number 8, 179,000. And Turkey, number 9, 155,000. Then you have Iran, number 10. Well, those are the big players in the scriptures right there, man. And also, even to show you how bad it is, which I had said at the brothers before, they don't even show you the recovery rate of the UK or the active cases in the UK, man. They going through it. When they start blotting they information out and they stats, that means that they're catching hell, man, pure hell. And they're not gonna show it.
And what happened with Italy? It was cute at first. Like, oh, look at them, they're all inside and
Playing music on the
playing Biggie and dancing and dating across buildings and shit like that. Have they opened back up?
No.
I mean, I don't know.
Per capita, but the per capita, they say that those countries are doing worse than the United States. Because I forget the population of Italy and Spain, but they don't have as many people as the United States.
No.
So per capita, they're doing horrible, man. They ain't open. I don't think they open back up.
I don't think they open back up either.
They ain't open back up.
Shit, it might not be in Italy for all we know.
Italy open. Shit, right there.
Might be empty as fuck right now.
Well, they got all kind of fucking exotic animals, penguins and shit. You know, got them roaming around.
Take it over, man.
Take it over, going and swimming. There ain't nobody in that goddamn country no more.
Italy don't even exist. We waiting for a new Italy.
Yeah. All right, I got a little bit more.
It says 42, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
Broken. Right. Partly strong, partly broken.
And the word broken says or brittle.
That's brittle.
Yeah, like somebody that be on them canes, you knock that cane over, they might goddamn fall and break their hip, man.
That's on Mr. Glass. On some Mr. Glass type.
Mr. Glass.
Mr. Glass broke all this shit up on just if he looked at the stairs too hard, shit just blink and he might crack his skull. All right, and that's literally the spirit what these other nations are going through, man.
They deficient instead of
Greece. Greece. Weed. I remember I picked up a woman about maybe 6 to 8 months ago. And they were weak going back to like 08, 09 back
They've
then.
been weak for a while. They've been weak.
And she told me, I was like, damn, how the hell you go from Greece to fucking North Druid Hills, Georgia? Because in our heads, we be like, man, if I had the opportunity to get the fuck out of here and go somewhere else, I'm gone.
Yeah.
But she was like, well, and she started breaking it down that like, it's the debts and the way that the country through those austere measures went about.
Oh, yeah.
They were just going into your accounts, taking your money and shit like that. She
did,
said
yeah.
there's no
Oh,
opportunities
yeah, it
over
was
there.
on
It's
that.
money.
Yeah.
They did that in Cyprus too. The austerity measures, they'll just go on your shit. And I know y'all brothers recall a couple months back when all those protests were going on all over the world. And they were saying it wasn't mainly, it was going on in South America, but they were saying it was mainly going on in France, I think Italy, the UK, and it was like, it wasn't even the poor that was actually protesting.
Yeah, it was the middle class.
It was the middle class.
Yeah.
The ones you actually think make the butter, make the bank. You know? If you think about, where this brother did a lesson on, really there ain't no middle class at this point. But if you think about middle class lifestyle, you think it's actually moderately good. You know, you can drive, so-called luxury cars, not at the top of the market.
You got a nice car, vacation once or twice a year.
Yeah, you're vacation. You're making good money. You can take
savings.
You can take your children through college. You might accumulate the debt, but you can pay it off. You can own a small business. The family is set straight. Family can be taken care of off of a middle class household. Nowadays you have the mom, you have the mother and the father working in a middle class household, and they still ain't making it, man. They still trying to pay off their college debt. Whether you're a doctor, whether you was an MD, in college you actually got your different certificates. You actually did your courses, and you still trying to pay them off. You in debt. You struggling to take your children through college. you're struggling to pay your car off,
Your medical bills.
your mortgage payments is high as hell, and you just swamped. That's why you turn on the news and you'll hear motherfuckers crying their eyes out, man, bawling. And it ain't even people that be making, you think the individual be making $20, $30, they might be making over $100,000 a year.
$150 a year.
$150 a year.
No money, more problems. No money, more problems. That's that thick clay, man.
Play a stick. I read that over. And whereas thou sawest, and whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is mixed with clay.
That's that division. So even though they're mixed together, right? They're not coming together.
They're not coming
Think
together.
about that. That's vinegar, that's oil and water. You can shake it up all you want, but it's not going to mix. It's no different than it ain't gonna mix like chocolate and milk.
No.
Right? It's vinegar, oil, and water. That's the iron and the clay. No matter you could wrap the iron around, you could put the clay around the iron, you could put the clay around the iron or the iron around the clay. It don't matter. Because it's divided. Right? It's divided and it's only gonna get worse. And we're gonna start seeing it. I'm gonna go ahead and step down and let the next brother burn in the spirit. Right? What we're gonna
I'm gonna go pick up some water.
Okay. Matter of fact.
Just like Dr. Brother said, it's only going to get worse. And we're first-hand witnessing the fall of America and these neighboring kingdoms. But not only is America going to fall, but we prophesy the downfall of America, the spiritual itself.
Will you grab me a power?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab body armor. You want body armor? Body armor and water.
You know, they're prophesying the downfall of those kingdoms. Because all these kingdoms are going to fall. You speak about when Yahweh Shah comes, he's going to wear many crowns, meaning he's going to take down all kingdoms.
That's right.
That's why he's known as what? The King of Kings, Lord of Lords. None of these kingdoms are going to be unscathed from the hell that's coming. Matthew the 24th chapter, when it speaks about plagues, famine, destruction, riots, it ain't going to be no quarters where you can just go to an island and you're not going to feel the effects of Matthew the 24th chapter and Luke the 21st chapter. You're going to feel the hell and the havoc of these prophecies all throughout. The time of Jacob's trouble, as it is written. You got that? Isaiah 19, 14. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof. Yeah, so the Lord is basically in the mix. These different nations, they have a plan, they have the agenda, but they don't know that the Most High is basically scratching the track.
Yep.
You know, he's interrupting the plans of the production of this devil. This new world order, he think he's just gonna slide gracefully. And that's why we were speaking about how these devils are moving hesitant. Because you have even certain devils that really don't even believe that the Most High has the power to intervene and take them down. But you got some devils that fear, man. They go into the records, they get into the archaeological digs, they know who the Israelites are, they know the prophecies, and they hide the information, but the information, they feel the full force of what the Most High, the Heavenly Father is going to bring.
That's right.
All right, back to Isaiah 19 and 14. The Lord gonna bring pressure, man. He's gonna bring heavy pressure. When you gonna read about the previous kingdoms that the Lord personally intervened, he messed them up, man.
Yeah.
They haven't been the same since.
Egypt.
Egypt is still feeling it unto this day. Hell, the Lord even still plaguing them with ancient plagues, like the locust outbreak. The Lord still plaguing Egypt.
And Mizraim ain't even in there.
Yeah, they done. But the Lord's still showing his power throughout Egypt, man. So America, and what does the scripture say? That the Lord will smite New Egypt?
That's right.
With plagues of before. How did old Egypt get plagued? They got plagued with locusts. They got plagued with death of the cattle. You know, hail. You know, all these different plagues that hit. And we're seeing these things going on worldwide. They said that there was hailstones down there like saw the basketball. I think it was in South America, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was, yeah.
South America. And then with the death of these different cattle, these farmers, they have to shoot their animals and their livestock in their head because of all these different, when you take farmers that take it to a processing plant, all these different processing plants, they deal with different ways. Skinning goats, all those different processing plants are shut down. So they don't even have the leverage to actually push out the majority of the livestock, so it's all sitting, and they got to kill off all of it.
If I may, this is from 9 hours ago from CNN, and it says millions of casitas, if I'm saying it correctly, are expected to, and they're like bugs. Millions of casitas, if I'm saying that correctly, are expected to emerge after 17 years of being underground in Virginia. Millions.
Millions?
Yeah.
Chimera, man. Hey, it's
Been dormant for 17 years.
for this long, but why is it coming out of nowhere? Oh, and then they say it's all kind of weird production in the sun. Like, what the hell is going on with that?
Hey, what the hell? Yeah, I saw that too. The sun's supposed to be going dormant and not giving on power and shit.
It's
Like,
gonna affect the world heavily.
yeah, heavily.
That's the prophecy, man. What is it that Satan believed in fears?
Yep.
Esau know what's going on. Hey, you had that one clip with the Simpsons with Mr. Burns when he was reading the scriptures, and when he said, "Meek shall inherit the earth."
Yeah, blessed is the poor.
Yeah. Oh, blessed is the poor. Blessed is the poor. You got to put it in the phone. Yep.
He shredded it.
Yeah. So they know these prophecies are coming to pass, but you can't hide it, man.
You know, if I may, so like if I may, because as a spirit, because it was like I was saying on my rib, I was like, okay, so Esau creates the 6th branch of the military to defend against an outside presence coming in. But why not put that money in us going out there?
I know.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's not going into, and I'm speaking hypothetically because we know that Esau can't, but that should go to show the people the mindset that Esau has, that he's trying to defend himself from something coming, because where's all the sign up? We're gonna ship everybody out and we're going to Mars. These devils waiting on Elon Musk to get that done.
Yeah, hell yeah. So this devil, he basically in the corner.
Yeah.
Isaiah 19 and 14. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit
That's right.
in the midst thereof.
You have the spiritual odyssey, you see the Lord is in full effect. You know?
And they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof.
And this is the new Egypt, this is the house of bondage. We're in captivity against our will. And what it says is they have caused Egypt to what? Err?
They have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof.
And every work thereof. That's the production. Anything that Esau is trying to achieve and this out forward, it's always something that's interrupting his production. He can't get there. He wants to get there. They have the plan. They have they have the finances. You know, they have the firepower to push forward. But it just seems like they can't get to that point. The New World Order has been spoken of since the 1400s.
Yeah.
When Christopher Columbus came to America, what do you call it? The New World.
Yep.
So they've been trying to achieve this plan.
Alexander Pike.
Albert Pike.
Albert Pike.
In the three World Wars, that book that he wrote, and they were speaking about invading Iran, but they know that they just can't step out there that easily. Hell, we don't know how long those stones been in here in Georgia. The Georgia Guidestones, where they're speaking about the New World Order plans. So they desire it. That's even on the dollar bill.
Yep.
You have a Novus Ordo Supreme. You have Annuus Queptus, all these different Latin terms. You see the pyramid, the capstone. You see that basically that they're trying to achieve that, but they still can't get there.
Yep.
The Lord's not going to allow them to get there. But He's going to allow them to get too far to then they face the gate. And that's why this digital market is being set up right up under our feet.
That's right.
But now everybody's got updates on their Apple phones about the coronavirus. And that's all urgent. Basically getting you prepared for mass vaccination and mass checks.
Yep.
TNO, it says, as a drunken man staggers in his vomit.
As a drunken man staggers in his vomit. So Esau slipping, falling, tripping. You know, he can't get right. And you'll see it. You'll see Trump and you'll see these different leaders. They just finished, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was a time where you couldn't really even speak about the presidents, man. Everybody, you know, was pro this president and pro that president. You know, nowadays everybody has division. And you had even Trump, he was speaking at the press conference, and you had those goddamn women that was asking him certain questions, and well, he just got up and left, man.
Yep.
Just ran off the stage on him. Y'all have a good one. Like, he told the girl, he was like, I called on, he said, I called her, she was like, you called on me. He was like, yeah, I did call on you, but you didn't answer fast enough, so, all right, y'all have a good day, y'all have a good day.
Yeah.
Just left, man. But that's the spirit of America, man. That's the spirit of all these elites. They have a plan, they're trying to push forward, but they're just not getting it. He said they're staggering in their vomit. You ever seen a drunk person staggering in his vomit? it's a filthy thing to see. You throwing up, and you getting up, and you slipping in your throw up, you falling on your back, you rolling all around.
Throwing up even more
Throwing up even
from
more.
the smell and the knowing you ain't throwing up.
Pissing on yourself, just on. You just finished, man. That's a miracle. And then and what? How? Why is America throwing up from the philosophy that they drank down? Their philosophies and their thoughts, which is the evil intentions and imaginations that they consume, and they believe that this thing was gonna just come overnight. But now they're seeing the struggles, man. How much it's taking. And you got certain elites, I'm pretty sure they damn near want to kill themselves at this point.
Basically. Because you know, if I may, because you know, when we used to work on houses, the hardest thing is closing a job. That is the hardest thing. It ain't opening the job. It ain't working the time in between. It's closing the job. And that's where wisdom and true discipline and leadership come into play that Esau don't got. He can't finish it. It was nothing. Oh yeah, we're going to cut down all these trees. It's easy to talk shit about something, you know, but that actual, it's closed. That's why the Lord said he got to finish our work. Because it's a whole nother beast to finish. That's why the scriptures say better is the end of a thing than the beginning, because that's hard. And Esau's showing he don't know how to finish the job. Should have been done did this.
He was never able to finish the job.
Nope.
Because he was never set up a rule. We just read that in Sirach 10.
That's right.
You know?
Beautiful, beautiful.
Verse 15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt.
Neither shall there be what?
Neither shall there be any work for Egypt.
Come
We
on
would
now.
have read this a year ago, a couple months ago.
Yep.
Jacob be looking at us like we talking shit. Any work for Egypt? My job paying me great. I just got a bonus. I just got a raise. I'm in the 401k. You know, I got my pension program. I'm gonna retire at the job I'm at. A couple months later, your ass got fired. A lot of people got fired. Layoffs, furloughs, you know. And everybody's in a panic. That's why stress right now is at an all-time high. People are mentally weak. You got even multi-millionaires that's sitting in those big-ass houses that's strongly depressed, man.
Yeah.
On drugs. You know, they feel like they can't go out because what? They all about entertainment, all about traveling from this part of the country to this part of the country. Having asses in the seat with those, what do they call them? Seminar meetings. They have the seminars and everybody clapping and parading, and that's the real money to them.
Their name being announced.
Their name being announced. You know, they putting on the three-piece suit, you know, $10,000 suit or whatnot, nice hair comb or whatnot. They're speaking, and everybody has them all taking pictures. They're not getting that type of love and you know, I would say, you know,
Reverence.
notoriety and reverence like they was back in the day. So a lot of people is depressed. Hell, you had even this Dyke Ellen.
Oh
Jennifer,
man.
you know, she was talking about how she's depressed, and she's sitting on bank.
Yeah.
And she's one of many.
And she's a high level on part of that world. She's once you get a talk show, that you've basically reached a gatekeeper level, you know.
And she's one of the top talk show hosts in the country.
Yep.
Hell, in the world, really. You know? So on that.
Verse 15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt.
So there ain't no work. Trying to make the buck, we're trying to make do. It was a time where it was hard to make do. Now you see no hard. JK making it now. They're trying to, they're struggling, but they ain't getting it. That's why everybody's trusting in these stimulus checks. Well, that's the last thing you need to trust in. Because the more Jake trusts in these checks, they're gonna trust in that chip that's gonna come. That's right. When that chip comes, it ain't gonna just be an empty chip. They're gonna say, yeah, we're gonna have some money, you know, we're gonna have, you know, what you need, but it's on this RFID chip. This is gonna be, because when that chip comes out, it's gonna have multiple factors in it.
Yeah.
Revelation 13 speaks about buying and selling, but it's also going to be used as a device for multiple functions. Man.
That's right.
Just like when you got these phones. This cell phone, you can buy on this phone, you can sell on this phone, you can take pictures and do certain things on this phone. You can also talk on this phone, you can text on this phone, you can use it as GPS tracking. You can do damn near everything.
Everything.
And you have something known as electronic miniaturization, where things were big back then. You remember the phones and all these things that were big as hell, and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller throughout time to the point where we get these phones and it's gonna go to that bite-sized chip.
It says,
so if you want to get back in the workforce, if you want to buy, if you want to sell, if you want to go to the grocery store, if you want to eat, make it to the next day. Be a part of the system. They're gonna want you to take that chip. You
Yeah.
And Bill Gates is one of the major funders of it. With him and his team of devils, they're putting big money, billions of dollars into this vaccination. Keep on.
It says, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do.
See, it says there shall be no work in Egypt, which the head or tail. The head is at the top of the food chain. When you think about the heads, that's the corporate leaders, the ones that actually own the corporation, not working for $9, $10 an hour. They're the ones that's passing out the paychecks. And I seen something where they were talking about farmers. They're losing so much goddamn money, it ain't making sense, bro. You got some farmers that's losing $390,000 a day. That's over $250,000 a day that they're losing. And you got to think, if they're losing that much of money, because their money comes from livestock, whether it's poultry, chicken, whether it's cattle, whether it's
Manure.
whether it's pork. You know, it's a lot of things that farmers make money off. The agriculture, potatoes, and all these different things.
The byproducts of the animals. You can sell the wool off the sheep.
Farmers make a lot of money, man.
Yeah.
Especially those top chicken, the head farmers. If farmers are losing that much in profits, how much is America losing in product? That's why they're saying it's going to be a famine. And it is going to be a famine. You go to your supermarkets, it's damn near a scarce product now.
Yeah.
You're trying to go to your supermarket and get certain things, you got to leave this supermarket, go to that supermarket. This supermarket ain't got it. This supermarket ain't got it. That's all leading to a famine. And they spoke about how beef prices and poultry prices have been jumping through. Go look at how much steak costs. Go look at how much ground beef costs. You're going to get to a point where you go to your Wendy's or your McDonald's, you think you want a dollar burger, and we ain't got it. Yeah, we ain't got it. We ain't got it. Now, you ain't got a damn thing. Why you ain't shut down? That's the time that we're living in.
That's right.
You got to have faith for this time. We're gonna start seeing this thing like the next chapter. We're speaking about the next wave of the corona. We're gonna see the next wave of hell.
All right, verse 17. Verse 16. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women. It shall be afraid and fear.
Mighty men turning into little bitches, man. Excuse my French, but that's what it is, man. The strongest of men. These tough bodybuilders, hell. You know, since the gyms and stuff had closed down, you know, Jake known to pump iron and get on Instagram and show their body and all that shit. You know, when that spirit is really removed, that spirit of images and taking
Vanity.
pictures and all that vanity, the real core of you is really known. And a lot of these men are turning into little bitches, man.
Yeah.
Whining, crying, and not making the money that they used to make. A lot of them are committing suicide. Suicide is at an all-time high. Domestic violence. And beating up on their women. A lot of them beating up on their kids. Beating up on, you see certain people that just going out beating up on the elderly and shit like that. Because they need some type of release. They need something to feel, some type of fulfillment.
They need a purge.
They need to purge. They really need to purge.
They need to purge.
They need to purge.
That was the whole point of the purge.
Yeah.
That was the whole point.
That's the whole point of the purge. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw fast.
I wouldn't be surprised either, man. That was because what was it called on the purge? The new founding fathers.
And I think they showed the date of the purge was March 21st.
It was March, yeah. It was, yeah.
It was March 21st, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can actually see the date of the purge. And we don't know. If you say we don't part of outside, I wouldn't be surprised.
I would.
This devil. You know?
Continuing on, it says, in that day shall Egypt be
They
like...
need new forms of entertainment.
Yep.
That's the thing about it too. Since the NFL and the NBA, all these different sports entertainment things have been shut down, what the hell are people doing now? Bullshit. They're trying to make fun on Instagram and these little live versus battles and shit, but that ain't getting the job done, man.
Yeah.
Jake needed to do something to get a real strong release. And he saw them, hey, whether it comes now or whether it comes in the time of Jacob's trouble, we know what's going to come, man. Where it's going to be mass carnage and death. You know? And people are really bent up to the point that they want to get down to that point.
Did you see whatever that guy was? I don't know what tribe, what nation he was, but that did that mass shooting in that mall. When he went to court, the reason why he said that was because it was something to the extent of, it was something just simple as hell, like because he couldn't go out anymore, or sports ain't no more. It was something just like you said, like that's just lacking, that he just lost it and went to go shoot up the mall.
You got people that worship these events. People that been to every, they'll be saying he went to every Jazz game since goddamn '08, some shit like that.
Spike Lee.
Yeah, Spike Lee. These individuals, they worship these different sports, man. Whether it's NFL or the NBA.
It's tribalism.
Yeah, tribalism. They got all the jerseys. The jerseys are the favorite sports players. So if they can't see them actually perform for even this short span of time, they go crazy. That's what they live for. That's what they'll die for. And then, like I said, they pent up. They want to got them release their anger, and they're doing it. Keep going.
All right, verse 17 or 16. And that day shall be like unto women, and they shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts.
Yeah, women can't endure all the time. Shit hit the fan, what they say? Oh, get tough to get going. You know? And a lot of these men, they prop themselves up to be manly man. If you ain't really in this truth, you ain't a manly man. But these men try to prop themselves up to be manly men, you know? But they're really weak in the inside. That's why when hell and havoc start to take place, you see how they react. These LeBron James, these individuals you be thinking 7, these Shaquille O'Neal super niggas, they're gonna be the worst gangster following that day.
Yeah.
They're gonna be looking at you for support.
Protect me!
That's how it's wired.
Please!
Them pictures of the all-time.
Look at his ass like, bro, why you talking to me like that?
Bro, talk regular.
I can't!
Fucking Shaq, these Jakes that just live in the gym, they're gonna be the weakest ones in that day. Because how did they gain their success or gain their fame? Don't put the ball in them. That's all they know. That's what they're great at. Floyd Mayweather, all he knows how to do is box. You know? So when money, the money, it don't matter if you got 30 million in the bank or 100 million in the bank, it's gonna be frozen. You ain't gonna have access to that cash. Your cars, your luxury cars that you brag and you send all these pictures, you ain't gonna have access to gas to drive around. And where the hell you gonna drive to even if you can drive? You can't leave the country.
Everybody gonna be like Tekashi.
Yeah, everybody gonna be like, yeah.
Here it is. He's like, I got $1 million check, nigga. To what? Show it off in your house? That's he can't go nowhere. So like, yeah, you got all these riches, but nigga, you a prison to your household.
You can't enjoy yourself.
Can't enjoy it.
Every time somebody see you, you run into another side of the goddamn city. Sleep.
He's moved like 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those big chicks, like movies like The Road, you see that downstairs scene in the basement, you see all those chicks that's chained up, the bigger the better. If they can catch them a Shaq, if they can
Catch them a Shaq.
catch them a big 280, 300, what's that big J that was in wrestling? Mark Henry.
Fucking Mark Henry.
Catch them a Mark Henry. They good for the punk.
Catch a big show.
Or catch them a big show, that's what they're gonna be going for. Because a lot of these individuals know where they live at. They just what? They just in gated facilities. But shit, when it gets to that point, and it's all hell, all chaos, havoc in the streets, what are they gonna do? They're gonna start cutting through the gates. That security system, they breaking through all that shit. Keep going.
This last part it says, and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over.
Fear is gonna be at an all-time high. Fear is at an all-time high now. What was Michael Phelps?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what he said, it's mental health. He's mentally depressed. He said he's mentally depressed. And he's legendary now.
Roll them fucking medals.
All the goddamn guys are talking about mentally depressed. And it's a lot of individuals that's like that. They're scared out of their damn life. This coronavirus has really brought the bitch out of a lot of men. You're supposed to be getting strong in this time. That's the coronavirus. You know, you should be in that attitude. We know it's present. We know that it's ready. But how should we react as men of the Lord? The scripture says, seeing then all these things that shall come, how should you be in all conversation with God?
Man.
Looking for and hasting. If we hasten, we want more plagues to come.
COVID-19 has done numbers to my life in a positive way,
I
man.
know, it's helping. Bringing everybody down to your level.
I've done better financially.
We all
Me
fast
too.
Now. I think it was just us living for a time. You know, the rich was celebrating and doing all this bullshit on live and whatnot. Now everybody.
Smooth transition. don't gotta deal with people.
You gotta deal with people.
Oh, hey, it's 6 feet apart, please.
Excuse me, 6 feet.
Get away.
Don't talk to me.
I like social distancing right now.
Covering your face.
That shit gave me an excuse to get off work.
I'm loving it.
I know.
COVID's a blessing.
This is Nahum 3:13. Behold,
And that's prophecy. Isaiah the 65th chapter said, in destruction and famine, thou shalt laugh.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we going to be laughing in a merry spirit when there's a scarcity of products? Because the Lord going to take care of it. And we got each other at the end of the day. Plus we've been preparing mentally. When you prepare for something for so long, when it comes, you're just immune to it. We ain't goddamn having nightmares about the coronavirus, you know, going to the doctor and getting tested and trying to get our checkups. You know, trying to, see when the vaccine is going to come out.
Right.
We don't give a hell about none of that, man. We trust in Yahweh Shema Shah. But you got assholes that's really doing it. Trying to figure out, when is this vaccine going to come? You know, messaging Trump, messaging certain politicians, messaging their mayors in their local facilities, you know, asking for help and reliance. Because they trust in Egypt. And from trusting in Egypt, what does it say? They're going to fall from Egypt. Right?
That's right.
You know?
This is Nahum 3:13. Behold, thy people in the midst of thee are women. The gates of thy land shall be set wide open to thy enemies.
Yeah.
The fire shall devour thy bars.
Yeah, and women make irrational decisions when hardships come. You see, even going back to what I was speaking about the road, here is all kind of chaos and havoc in the street. And what did the woman decided to do? She got up and got the hell up. She left on her lonesome, and what's gonna happen? She's gonna run into a band of thieves, a gang of niggas that's gonna gangbang her. Probably tie her up like some shit, gonna look at you out.
Yeah.
Use her for ransom.
For bait.
Use her for bait.
Like Negan used them women in
Walking
The
Dead.
Walking Dead.
Yeah, he used the women in the Walking Dead, and a lot of women gonna be preyed on in that day, man. You know, a lot of women going through it now, but they still with a lot of these women rejoicing over their OnlyFans and all this bullshit, man. But what happens when all this shit gets cut off? But this is just the beginning, man. That's why Jake still, they still settle on their leave. They don't believe really
Yeah.
it's gonna get that much worse. They're like, this is the worst it's gonna get. They gotta get better. It can't get no worse. But guess what? It's gonna get a lot more worse.
That Jake just say, oh, we're gonna wake up from this year from a bad dream, and 2021 is gonna be back to normal.
2021 gonna be way worse. Lord willing, we don't even get to 2021.
Word.
Lord willing, the deliverance will be in this year.
Word.
They still in that spirit of 21 their life goals.
We still got 6 months.
5 years, and I'm gonna invest in this and that. Like,
It's gonna be cold before we know
Look
it.
around, man. Look
Back
at
on
what the
some
Lord
cool
is
shit.
doing, man. Hey, it's a place now. It's dead. It's
Yeah.
gone.
And they don't,
You can't enjoy it no more.
and they don't trust in the Lord. That's the thing about it. They don't believe in the Lord's promises. Here it is, a lot of these jakes that was in the churches, they can't even go to church no more.
Right.
And they don't read the Bible. Here it is, they've been going to church for 15, 20 years. They still ain't got no understanding of the Bible, plus the church is shut down. They're like, you gotta turn to the truth. If not, you finish.
Yeah, these pastors be trying to do their own like live streams, be looking finish.
Can't break a damn thing.
Can't break a damn thing down. They be the kids and animals and shit walking by the back. They just be looking through, man.
Man, it's like, you can't do too much dancing on a goddamn live, man.
Cause a live is just, all right, today's lesson is this. It ain't no energy. They be based, they're emotional energy driven.
And why do they continue to do those lives? So that you keep sending and donating them money. And that money is getting scarce because people don't have the money to give.
Right.
You had one of the church pastors that told the congregation to give their stimulus checks. And when you get those stimulus checks passed to us,
It's Bishop Nathaniel said the same thing pretty much.
nah, he's a demon.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he said don't pretty much he said don't take the stimulus check. I ain't got no damn choice. It come right to me.
Yeah.
So what do you want me to do? Give it right back? How? Mail
You're
it in,
talking about taking a check in the vaccine.
right?
We can't take a tangible check if you got cash on it. But you're talking about injecting yourself with songs and fucking
He
poison.
said don't take the stimulus check. I'm like,
Why?
fucking me. I don't have a choice but to take.
Yeah.
It's direct deposit.
Ecclesiastes 12 verse 1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth.
Yeah. So this is the time to remember. The word remembrance brings us back in memory, which is really going into your mind. You know, you're gaining your memories back. Because we lost it. Get Jeremiah 17 and was that 4? This is the time we lost ourselves. We lost our nationality, we lost our culture, we lost our heritage. And it ain't like it just fell on our back pocket. They got beat out of us, man. What was that movie? Oh. Kunta Kinte kept chanting his native African name or name at that time. He was Israelite, but he kept speaking about his native name. But what he said, your name is Toby. He said, your name Toby, boy. And he was like, no, my name is Kunta. And after a while, he kept beating the hell out of Kunta Kinte to the point where his name was actually Toby. So that happened to a lot of jakes. And any jakes that came from Africa, especially that first tier of jakes that was, tough, had that
Warrior spirit on still.
Yeah, that natural warrior spirit. They broke that whole line. And then they what? That they gradually adopted them into Westernism. Starting out with the Native Americans. What did they do with the Native? They put them in the educational program. They cut their native hair, but they would wear the braids, and they would wear the garments with the fringes. They made them chop their hair off. They hear them speaking their native tongue.
Wash their mouth, wash their tongue with soap.
They would wash their tongue out with soap, Listerine, bleach, and they'll make sure that they won't speak it no more. And then now you see in today's time, these goddamn natives are fucking Americans, man.
And they're the ultimate Americans.
They're ultimate Americans. They looking for a check too.
They got a check.
Yeah, well, yeah, they got a check.
Yeah, they sent. I think they sent the native leaders like $3 billion or some shit like that.
So they ain't trying to go nowhere. Fighting
Straight to the casino.
Oh yeah.
Only the elected 1/3 is fighting. Fighting. If the 1/3 isn't fully in his truth, they still mentally fight.
They're pleading out, crying.
Pleading out, crying. Scripture speak about the sign and crying for truth's sake. Read that.
It's Jeremiah 17 and verse 4. And thou even thyself shall discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee.
Yeah, what's our heritage? Our heritage is what the Lord gave us for an inheritance. He gave us our land, He gave us our culture, He gave us our identity, He gave us the name of the Most High.
Law, statutes, commandments.
Law, statutes, commandments, all that was our heritage. But the scripture said there was going to be a point in time that we would be discontinued from it. There would be a cutoff. And heritage of ours is lost. It ain't just like, all right, we just lost it, we forgot what it was. No, nations take heritages from other nations. Mainly Esau. Starting off with the Greeks. The Greeks and the Romans and these modern Edomites, the Americans, when they came into power, their whole thing was about cutting off identities, man. You're no longer an Israelite. You a nigger.
Yep.
Or a Negro. Or a black. You're no longer an Issacharite. You a Mexican. You're no longer an Ephraimite. You're a Puerto Rican. You're no longer a Levite. You're a Haitian. Read that in Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes 12, verse 1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth.
Yeah, so this is the time to get back to remembrance, man. Pump up your mind with these laws, statutes, and commandments in the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. This is the living word. Everything else is nonsense and bullshit. All other religions have basically bamboozled you. They basically led you down the tracks of lies and trickery, put you into nonsense, whether it's Islam, Roman Catholicism, Christianity. They don't amount to nothing. Since these jakes was in these different religions, they've really been losing. You didn't gain nothing out of Islam. You didn't gain nothing from Christianity. A lot of these jakes went in debt because of Christianity. If they could see in a lifetime, you see your grandma and your grandpops that's aggressive Christians, if they could literally see how much they gave to the church from that 20-25 year time span, they want to goddamn rob that church, man. I guarantee you, so damn near 50, 60, if not more, not way more than that, $70,000. Especially these top, whether you're a sports athlete or you're an entertainer. Some of those athletes and entertainers be giving churches $80,000, $90,000 checks, man, $100,000 checks, $50,000 checks. They say some of them give their 10%. They get a $100,000 check. They're gonna give them $10,000, $20,000, man. Read that over.
Come, this is Ecclesiastes 12, verse 1. Remember thou thy Creator in the days of thy youth.
Yeah, and this is the time of our youth when we have the time to come back to the Lord. We have the access and we have the entry. The Lord didn't close the books. You can still go to your supermarkets. You can go to your stores and you can purchase Bibles. You can purchase Bibles online. You can download Blu-ray Bibles, King James Bibles on your app phone. You have full access to read. But keep going.
While the evil days come not.
While the evil days come not. What's the word evil means? Bad times. And we're in a time of evil. actually going on. And we're telling you about the evil in the Bible. That's the thing about it. We're telling you that the coronavirus is, was slated to happen. This famine is soon to come. We told you it was going to come. We told you that your government is going to come down against you. We told you it's going to be a mass killing. But you, Jake, still don't believe.
Yep.
You have a believe it when I see it mentality, but you're seeing it and you still don't believe it.
Ain't that something?
Ain't that some shit, man? That's how you know it's divine. It's actually a holy angel someone with that Isaiah 9:6. That's just covering Jake's eyes from coming into the truth. The Lord don't want you to get it.
Nor the years draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun, or the light, or the moon, or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return out of the rain.
Yeah, they're talking about the wisdom and knowledge of the society. Because it was a time where you had the answers. Now nobody knows what the hell is going on. How long is this coronavirus going to last? Is there going to be a second wave of the coronavirus? Is there going to be a third wave? Are you going to get your job back? Are you going to get re-employed? Is the government going to, it's so many questions that literally nobody has the answers to. The President of the United States, your doctors, your city officials, your leaders, all over the world, they have zero answers. That's why a lot of them just killing themselves. And that's why before this whole thing took off, what happened? You had a lot of CEOs that just stepped down. They knew of the wave of hell that was to come, and they knew a lot of people was going to depend on it. So what? They said, fuck, I'm dropping off my quotes.
Or blame them.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to be to blame for this. A lot of people rely on these CEOs and their district managers and their leaders, but they're seeing that they can't help them out for nothing. So what? Now people are getting angry. They're getting angry. They're getting agitated. I think it was over there in Europe. They took one of the politicians. They threw his ass in a trash can. Man.
Yeah, they did.
Pushing his head all in the trash can. In his suit, just chomping them and bullying them. Because what, people are pissed off, man. That's probably shit second episode right there.
Yep.
But yeah, you go ahead and bring that out, man.
About 6-7 months ago, they were doing that with the mayor, South America. Tied his ass in the back of a pickup truck. And they drug his ass out of concrete. They didn't give a fuck.
The leadership in Hong Kong, they did the same thing.
Yeah.
Now is a bad time to be a mayor or a politician, man.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when these things, it ain't gonna be no beating up, man. They're gonna start killing them, man. They're gonna start hanging them like it showed you that on Purge. There was a show, a scene, and you look at, I forget what, I don't know if it was the White House, but it was one of those.
It was like a governor, and they had him.
They had the governor, and he was down there crucified on the walls, man. They're gonna start crucifying these politicians, man. Don't be surprised to see, or you hear about Keisha or Governor Kemp or Cuomo, whatever governor or leader or mayor, goddamn, getting put to death, man, by citizens.
Mobs of
Mobs
citizens.
of citizens. Talking about beating them to death, man. And there's gonna be individuals that are not gonna take that spot. They're gonna get the powers are gonna be. Matter of fact, read it, man.
Yeah.
This is 2 Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another.
There shall be sedition among men. That's the uprising and invading. Start goddamn going to houses. If the government ain't gonna feed them, they gonna feed themselves. They ain't gonna just starve to death. They gonna fight for what they want. And these prisons are gonna get so packed. And you gotta think, when it gets to the point where these prisons are packed and they can't feed these prisoners, what these prisoners gonna do? They finna run shit up. Now, look at one of these prisons. I don't know if you've ever seen the clip, but they got down ran all the borders in the the prison guards out the prison.
Yeah.
They had the jackets and shit. They like, yeah, It was only them in the prison. And that's going to start to be a regular thing. That's going to be a regularly occurring thing in all these prisons, man. All these different cities,
It says, they shall not regard their kings nor princes.
They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In today's times, it's your political leaders. The mayor is basically the mayor of Atlanta, or the governor of Atlanta is the king of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Back in Rome, you had tetrarchs and you had leaders. So if the king, the king wouldn't always, take care of each and every realm. They would elect officials, or they would select back then officials. Now they're elected, all right, and they would put them in a position, and they would take care of everything with taxpayers' dollars. This money goes towards this. You use this part of the budget to fund whether it's the educational program or bridges or whatever, to make sure things stay afloat.
Yep.
But people have paid all these different taxes, And they're saying that the economy that they trusted in and they put all this money towards is bullshit. So what they're gonna do? They're gonna start attacking, man. Keep going.
It says, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
And what happened? They started shutting down all kind of markets that actually help with gun shops. All these different gun shops and things of that nature. They started shutting them down. But these individuals are gonna start locking and loading, man. All these different good old boys, they got these goddamn 30, 40 guns in their house. They're gonna start using it, strapping up and going to war. Because when people lose everything, they lose it.
Yep.
These people are losing their minds out there. You lost your job. You lost your company. This individual that lost their company, and they was actually doing good before the coronavirus. Locations in New York, state spots, luxury restaurants, where they would actually house individuals. And they say they're losing like $20,000, $30,000. There was one individual I think saying he was losing like $20,000, $30,000 a day or some crazy shit.
Yeah, because the New York City, like you just touched on, was already going through it before the coronavirus as far as like commercial real estate pricing. Like it's expensive to rent a little spot to sell pizza and shit out of. And like we were saying, like if you've ever been to New York, a lot of restaurants within New York City make their money off of people coming from the other boroughs of the cities, traveling to Manhattan. Why if I live in Brooklyn or if I live in New Jersey, am I really going to take a train ride and go through all the trouble to go to a pizza spot or a burger spot or whatever spot you want to in Manhattan? No. It's the same thing with us. Nah, I just settle for whatever spot that's closest to me, man. And them places, like you said, they can't handle that. If you're a restaurant and you used to, you open from 11 a.m. to fucking 1, 2, 3 in the morning selling food, always selling, you can't take that hit and sell takeout and make the same money.
To a screeching stop to the point.
Come on.
And they make their money mainly from dine-ins too. They selling them liquor shots. The party is constantly going. They got music, jams. They're getting great tips. The tips, yeah, it ain't no $2-3 tips, man.
And
those individuals be giving $100 tips.
But liquor licensing, is expensive. Like for instance, your strip clubs, they might pay $100,000. Like I think a year maybe. I'm not sure the details of it, but it ain't like, oh, I need a liquor license and you go to the fucking DMV and go get you a license for $20. No, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars to maintain a liquor license, and that's a hit. When now all of a sudden you telling me I can only use my kitchen for takeout when I'm used to somebody coming in getting a burger and fries and 3-4 beers with it, or a steak and mixed drinks, but now all they getting is, I don't give a fuck about the beer. I mean, not the beer, but the burgers. Oh yeah, come on.
And really, the majority of restaurants make their money through liquor, man. The markup from that liquor, they might sell you a shot for damn near $15.
$15-$20, man.
$15-$20, that's damn near the price of the bottle, man. And then it's watered down like a mug.
They get to use, drunk, and what they gonna do? Get some off the menu.
Yep, that's why they do free mimosas on certain places on Sundays. It's a science behind it, but like you're saying, if you shut down the interaction of going into a restaurant, like the restaurant industry is dead, man. Yeah. Because even if they open up, like I think what are they saying? Here in Atlanta, everything is gonna open up by the 31st. All right, well let's just see by the 31st if Ruth Chris gonna be packed, if Benihana is gonna be packed. If Ruby Tuesdays, Applebee's, TGI Fridays, whatever level you want to go to, is it going to be packed? Absolutely not.
Well, they really can't fully fill it up too, because they still speaking about social distancing.
That's bullshit in itself too.
Bullshit. So what you gonna have? One table, then you gonna have 2 tables. You ain't making no money.
Yeah, ain't no making no money that way.
You need to flip them tables and get people in and get people out.
Packed up on each other.
Yeah. With face masks on their chin while they eat.
It is bullshit. I went to a restaurant last night. They ain't following. These individuals out here, these owners, they don't give a shit.
Yeah, because they need the money. They need the money.
That's the only reason why they're willing to go to that. But you were still in that second level 15.
Oh yeah, I want to bring up a definition. Sedition is a noun in the monarchy. It's in the 14th century. It's a rebellion.
War.
Mm-hmm. So So these citizens are gonna start making war with the government. They're gonna start assembling, you know, and they're not just gonna come with the picket signs and the fence. We want
Nah, hell no.
They come in a tank, man.
That's second that's the whole premise of the Second Amendment. Because the whole premise of the Second Amendment is what? If you have a tyrannical government and you have the right to sedition, you have the right to that. The American people have a right to that.
Uprising, revolt,
Uprising, to rise up. You know, keep on.
concerted intent
To revolt, to turn it around. They're gonna try to turn this into basically anarchy. But these people really are pissed off like a mug, man. And they're gonna take action. Whether they gotta run into one of the mayor's locations, man. Whether they gotta hold somebody hostage. Whether they gotta kill somebody on live. To prove a point.
Yep. Terrorist attacks.
A terrorist attack where they gotta blow something up, shoot up a wall. Just to prove a point. Because this individual that lost a lot of members from this coronavirus, honestly, this one individual, they're speaking about how they got a call like, your mom's dead from the coronavirus. They hung up. Got another call like, yo, your brother's dead. It's like, damn. They're like everything, you know, and like within a day or a couple of days, people just dying left and right, man.
Hey, you see Bootsy? He was all on news. Yeah, you saw that, right? He was big mad.
Oh, yeah.
He's cursing out everybody. He's like, man, this corona did this year. He basically said F the Most High.
Oh, that's what he said?
Basically. He basically said, yeah, F the Most High would strike his ass down, man.
I seen one.
Lord, he's like, the Lord don't give a fuck about my family.
The Lord don't. Fucking nigga. You said Lil Boosie, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he the same nigga that was talking about eating pork. No, so the Lord cursing his ass and he going through it. We talking about how he was losing $1 million with that party.
Yep.
And you gotta think, all these different parties that passed that Jake couldn't join, they lost millions of dollars, man. Plus they're sitting down. So people are ready to goddamn get busy at this point. They're like, fuck the money. Fuck
That's
the
exactly what he said. That's exactly what he said. He's like,
revenge, man.
listen, if you owe me something, don't let me see you. Like, goddamn, Bootsy.
Like, bro, you supposed to be still sitting on that bag, bro. But they not sitting. They sitting on debt. They accumulate. If they're not making money, they're losing money. They're losing money, they're accumulating debt. All them luxury cars that these celebrities be sitting on, these $5, $6, $7, $8 million cars and things of that nature, they ain't just putting their cars in the mortgage payments, and the house over here and the house over there, all that shit on halt. No, they still gotta take all that shit off, man. Keep going on that.
just one more definition. It says, concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority.
Concerted attempt to overthrow civil authorities. So people want to overthrow, and not only here, overseas, in Italy, in Spain, they want shit to open back up. And then they sit here in America. They're like, damn, what the fuck? Everything's opened up in America.
We closed before them and they opened before us?
Yeah, like what the hell is going on? Then they're like, we're not getting any answers. We're not getting fed. We're not getting supplied with what we need to get supplied for. They don't see any progression in their system. And when things are just frozen, just like if you're on a highway and everything just is at a stop and it ain't moving, what's gonna happen? You're gonna get pissed off.
Then you be in traffic, you be like, man, somebody better be fucking dead down there.
When everything is at a freeze, you gotta get tense. Like, man, can I swerve over here? Trying to find somewhere to goddamn get through.
You be like, man, there better be blood all over the streets for this shit.
Goddamn something, man. As long as I've been fucking with this traffic. You get to a point, you see a little fender bender. Oh, what the hell?
Yo.
And you know what they call it, road rage. But these people, they're having economic road rage, so to speak.
Yeah.
So what? Everything is being backed up. You can't move. You're stuck in the house today. You're stuck in the house tomorrow. You're stuck in the house for the rest of the month. You're stuck in the house for the rest of the year.
Kids getting on your goddamn nerves.
Getting on your nerves. Your woman getting on your nerves. The government said they were going to open. I think California said that they was supposed to open, and they made an extension
To the end of the summer.
to the end of the summer. So what people are anticipating, they believe it's going to open, but then it's like, damn, we got to wait to the end of the summer. Summertime, we're supposed to take this big trip.
What about the cookouts, family reunions, pool parties, day parties, rooftop parties,
Ain't none of that shit.
backyard parties? You know, Jake and everybody party for everything.
And it's like, fuck parties. How you going to eat tomorrow? You see all these different food drive locations opening, and you see them shit be back up to the highway.
Yeah, them church lines be crazy.
Them joints they be damn near from one city to the next. Ain't nobody got no food. Ain't nobody.
Cause I live by New Birth, out there in Lithonia. Man, they do the food drives too. Man, that line be It'd be a lot of cars out there, man.
Fucking people, man. I seen them one in
I almost hopped in one just because they, I mean, fuck it.
Yeah,
Almost
like-
did.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I seen one. I think it was in California. They had a food drop, but you know it's bad out there.
Yeah.
They had that shit. It literally was on the highway. It literally straight towards the highway, and people damn near parked on the highway trying to get to that food. Man. So what's happening? Like I said, people are getting in a rage. And then what happens? You get so long. You've been waiting, got 2.5 hours. We ain't got no more food. You ain't gonna be able to eat. You ain't gonna eat. The house, the car full of people that you actually had in the car with you, ain't gonna have no food. This off. Can't talk to anybody about any type of reliance or getting taken care of. Still in debt. Still gotta pay your rent for the rest of the month.
Yep.
So you just wanna put something down, man. If you want somebody to take the not yours, or you just wanna put something down.
Purge.
Second Ezra 15 to 17. A man shall desire to go into a city.
That's like if you went from this point to a couple months ago, you just used to eating any and every goddamn thing. Jake will go to these different restaurants. They go to Red Lobster. They go to Joe's Crab Shack. They busting the crab. They order an extra bucket of snow crab. Yeah, outright, the extra bucket of crab.
Juicy crab shacks and shit.
Yeah. They're not used to going. You got to go through that to go into a fast. You know? Shit. Yeah, a forced fast. A diet.
Like we were saying, like, you know, with these people, man, we used to say this years ago, like, these people, especially these women, like we were saying earlier, these women, they're used to when I get up in the morning. Oh, I want breakfast. I'm going here to get breakfast. Oh, I want a snack. Oh, let's go to Starbucks. Let's go get a Frappuccino and a pumpkin bread. Oh, I want lunch. Let's go to Benihana's. No, they live their life off of, if I want it, I'm just going to go get it. Oh, it's accessibility. So if whatever I want, and then it didn't help with Uber Eats and Postmates and DoorDash, the ability to have all of these things brought to the office, brought to the house. These people are spoiled beyond belief. Like you said, like, to go from, oh, if I want ice cream tonight, I'm gonna go get 2 scoops of ice cream. I'm not gonna wait. Like with us,
24 hours store.
come on.
Now everything is on a curfew. You don't got to get to this store on time, and your ass ain't.
Second Ezra 15 to 17. A man shall desire to go into a city.
A man shall desire to go to a city. We just spoke about that. You know, your favorite cities, whether especially in like New York, we're seeing that really going on. Italy, that's a tourist attraction.
Yeah, Paris.
Paris, spring. The whole of Europe. A lot of those places, Rome, Italy. You know, that's a tourist.
Vatican.
Vatican. With that St. Peter's Square.
Yeah.
With different cathedrals. You gotta think those different museums that all those individuals used to go to on top of those churches, all those areas that they used to generate income and all that, bro. Like you just said, it's multi-billions that they lose. Billions upon billions of dollars that they're losing. And these people are fucking, they're having it up to here, bro.
Yeah, was it the NBA? I think the NBA in the first week are shutting down with this corona. They lost like $1 billion just in ticket sales and not having those games on TV and shit like that. That was just like the first week. That's why the major thing is, listen, we gotta get this NBA going, man. I don't give a fuck if we gotta go to, they talking about now going to Disney World to finish the season, a one game playoff season to just get something going. They desperate.
Some type of money. Just get something. Yeah, but no fans.
And shall not be able.
Yeah, so people desire to go to a city. They want to go there so bad. You know, their adrenaline pumping to get to that part of the city, but they just not able. No access. And it's gonna get to the point where it get way worse. You know, it's different blockades and then entry points, access denied. You ain't gonna be able to go from this part of the city to the next. So now, you know, in certain parts of the South, you know, you have a little bit more leisure.
Yeah.
You can go to Georgia. You can go to
Go to Florida if you want,
If
yo.
you want to go to Tennessee, you can go to certain parts. But in certain parts of the United States, your ass can't move. In certain parts of certain countries, they're not letting you leave.
Yeah, because if I may say that, scripture said a man desired to go into a city. So those that are already in the city are desiring to leave that city and can't. Because like you said, there's countries where you just, bro, like it was them crackers that was over there in Wuhan, they just got out.
Yeah.
They were stuck over there the whole fucking lockdown. So imagine some shit locked down and you just so happen to be visiting. Well, nigga, you here. We don't care.
Yeah. What he spoke about that Princess Diamond, the boat, not the boat, the ship that had all those individuals that had the coronavirus cases. They wasn't letting them off for a while. They was on that ship for a long time.
I think they just let them off that boat.
I think they just let them
One of them military boats, they just let some people off
It
of.
was that Princess Diamond ship. There was so many cases that they named them as a country on the coronavirus cases.
Yeah, that's right, they did.
They didn't even let them off. You gotta think if you just here it is, you on a boat, you think you would be having the time of your life. Them people was going through it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They were showing the videos of the people. They were like, man, they wanted to get the fuck off of that boat.
You imagine how many tried to jump off the boat, probably?
I'm pretty sure some of them tried to jump off that boat. They probably had guards, certain people drop down on that boat.
Had to.
For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled.
Yep. So because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. And a lot of these people, they're filled up with autism. They have pride, a lot of pride, because of what the income that they make, because of the followers that they have on Instagram, because of the people that like their content, because of the people that like their pics, because of the relevancy that they have. So you can't tell them nothing. And the Lord hates pride. That's one of the top things that the Lord despises, man. A proud ass nigga or a proud ass a fucking nigga, especially these other nations, and they ain't got nothing to be proud of. Here it is, these different countries, they've already been plagued, but now they're getting plagued again, like here in Wuhan. That was a major place that was already had contracted all kind of sickness before. But what happened? They opened it back up, you know, and you know the scripture speak about the pride. That's some people they got that's heavily coped with the pride.
Yeah.
And then they got hit again. And say for instance, this they go all over, and everything goes back on. This pride will go back up now. These people are just filled with pride. That's why the Lord is humbling this place. And this is a great humble.
I got one for you if you don't mind on that. This is Sirach 10 and 18. It says, pride was not made for man, nor furious anger for them that are born of a woman.
Yeah, see, pride was not made for man. You wasn't designed to be proud of something. Whenever you get something and you gain achievements or anything, you give all praise to Yahweh Shemal Shah. Most of the people don't give praise to Yahweh Shemal Shah. They give praise to Satan or their gods that they worship.
Themselves.
For themselves. They make an idol of themselves.
Mama.
If I wouldn't have did it, Cuomo said something like that. He said God didn't bring the coronavirus down. We did. He said it proud as hell, man.
Yeah.
And these devils, all of them proud, man.
That's why your bitch ass brother got the shit.
Hell yeah. Oh, his brother got it?
Yeah.
I didn't know his brother had it. Okay. You gonna read this?
All right, 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. People are in fear, man. People are terrorized, traumatized. You know, like you see a traumatized dog and you try to get it out the, the vet. Yeah, you try to get it out. Some of them animals, they gotta stay their asses in there, man. You wake them up the wrong way, they try to bite your fucking head off. And that's the way that these people are being, that's the way that these people are being conditioned now. All the shit that's going on top of more shit that's going on, the more disasters, more wildfires. You know, they had them wildfires in Australia. You gotta think, they went through the wildfires, then they gotta go through the coronavirus. You got some countries that be going through the tsunamis, economic turmoil, then the coronavirus. The people in the city be traumatized, man.
Yeah.
They ain't right, they ain't living right, they ain't thinking right, they ain't eating right, they ain't sleeping good at night. And then it's more and more hell. It's like, damn, it's just like a day.
Yeah. Beginning of sorrows. The beginning of sorrows. No, sir.
You're gonna see a lot of jakes booked out, but we're seeing it now. And shit really hasn't even got that bad, to be honest. But we're supposed to come back.
This is Proverbs 8:13. The fear of the Lord Yahweh is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy.
So stay in the fear of Yahweh Shemal Shah. It says the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, and arrogance.
In the evil way.
And the evil way. What's the evil way? The way of religion. Which a lot of people have took. A lot of people took the way of the abominable route, followed the way of Esau, his kingdom, trusting in his way and style of life, and they see that it ended up being to their ruin. Now they're trying to turn back to the Lord and knock on the Lord's front door. And the Lord's gonna show mercy to some, but someone He's gonna close that door. Damn master lock, you ain't getting there.
And he gonna laugh at your ass.
Yeah, He's gonna laugh at you. Say He's gonna laugh at your plagues. Laugh at your fear coming from destruction and desolation. And is the Lord gonna be the only one laughing? No, He's gonna use us to laugh at you, man. Because it's funny to us.
The Lord will be like, Pop from Friday, take number 1 and number 2.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody taking number 2 but me. Swap.
Mhm.
Close that shit right
Close
there.
that shit right in their goddamn face, man.
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
Said, in the foreign mouth do I hate.
And the what?
In the foreign mouth do I hate.
Yeah, a lot of people are for it, man. They speak any and everything against the Most High.
Yeah, Bootsy.
He's one of the main ones.
He's
Niggas, man.
the face of forwardness,
And then
man.
you gotta remember, you got fucking what, diabetes?
We got something.
Yeah,
I got to get diabetes.
yeah.
You know, he be having sugar problems and shit, man. Lord ain't no spiking that shit. Putting his ass to death. And that's a lot of these jakes that talk shit against the Most High. The Lord got each and every one of these jakes tab. And he gonna press your number, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so hopefully brothers edify was about giving all praise, honor, and glory unto.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rukakwadash.
Double honor to the apostle and others, great millstone. Shalom, man. Shalom.